class, the topic of concern for today is the chromatography. As you know, all about the chromatography is actually the technique in which the mixture's components are separated out on the basis of different tendencies of liquid molecules towards the mixture molecules towards the adsorption phase. That means the mobile phase and stationary phase we will be dealing in this practical. So in chromatography technique, you can see I have a filter paper over there. This will be called as chromatographic filter paper. We will be dealing with the chromatographic tank that has a solution which is the mixture of isopropanol and water. This solution is closed with a lid because it is the volatile solution, and on the basis of surface area or surface tension, the solution quantity may be different because of the volatile nature. So I have two chromatographic tanks over there with a mixture of isopropanol and water. I have different amino acids there. One is the proline, one is tyrosine, and one will be the control, and one will be the valine. Okay, so these are all the amino acids which I will be placing on filter paper, and I will compare these amino acid movements with the control movements on the filter paper, or you can say adsorption phase. Okay, so in this case we will be dealing with two types of phases. One is called the stationary phase, second is called the mobile phase. You know about the stationary phase is actually the phase in which the content is placed, in which on which your sample would be placed. Okay, that would be stationary in nature. While mobile phase may be a solvent, may be a liquid, that may be of water, ethanol, that may be of ether, which is placed in a chromatographic tank over there, which is the conjugation of two things, isopropanol solution and water. Okay, so on the stationary phase we will be placing our samples over there. Okay, for that purpose we will take a filter paper, I will draw a line from the base of the filter paper, but above, about an inch above the baseline of the filter paper, just like this. This is actually the line on which I will place my samples. Okay, over there I have a automatic micropipette of 10 microliter. So that means I will take solution or sample of 10 microliter. First I am having proline, tyrosine, proline, value. So I will mark first the area over which I will place my solution, or you can say the content or sample. I will mark it as A, or you can name it according to the bottle name given. Like I have valine over there, I have tryptophan over there. I can identify or denote it with the B. I have proline over there, or you can say it is the C. Okay. Now I will be placing the sample one by one. Opening the lid and the knob, which is rubber, single push, dipping in the solution, releasing of the knob. Now I will place a finger beyond the tip, just like this, and pour it on a drop over there, like this. So you can see this is a amino acid. Taking another tip, closing the lid. Next is sample C, which I have taken is a proline over there. Stabilizing it, and we are done. So at D, I will place valine over there. Opening up solution. Placing the finger beyond, and that is evacuation. Now we are done with 4 different samples in which I have taken one control with which I will compare my 3 samples. Now I am going to dry this filter paper with the help of dryer, like this. You can see this is a sort of dryer commonly used in homes. We can dry this with the help of this hair dryer tool. We can dry this in an oven too. Now look, this is dried. This was sample A, sample B, sample C and sample D. Sample A, I have used control for valine, sample B for tyrosine, sample B for tryptophan, sample C for proline and sample D for valine. At the end of the experiment, we will compare with the control, the 3 amino acid over there. Once a molecule or the amino acid which is compared with the control is identified, that would be the molecule that is accumulated in the blood, that compared with the reference of the value. Result, because the items or the molecules which were assembled on a filter paper, there is a chance to intermingle with the solution given in the chromatographic point. So by the capillary action, these molecules will move vertical in direction, in upward direction. We will arrange this filter paper. We will hold this filter paper with the help of paper clip in a chromatographic tank, and we will make sure that lid is closed, just like this. Now you can see the A solution, B solution, C solution and D solution. Or in other case you can say A is actually the control, B is tryptophan, C is proline and D is the valine. Um, Tryptophan, proline or valine, there must be a single molecule which can, after comparing with the control, which can identify it as a control value. Okay, that would be our the molecule which is condensed, you can say, which is accumulated into the blood. By that action, you can tell which amount of amino acid or which amino acid is accumulated into the blood. We will be waiting for about half an hour in this situation. After half an hour, we will evacuate this filter paper. We will dry this filter paper again. Then we will use a staining agent, that is nin hydrogen reagent, that is placed in this beaker. Nin hydrogen reagent, that means this will provide the staining of liquid, or you can say the molecules, up to which level the molecule has reached. So by capillary action, by the help of this mobile phase, the molecules which were placed at the line baseline would be accompanied by this mobile phase, will move forward in upward direction, and after that we will dry this, we will stain this in the nin hydrogen reagent, and we will place it in an oven. After that, that means the color of the different amino acids will develop in that sense by the action of this nin hydrogen reagent over there. So that was about the chromatography. That means the judgment of the molecules on the basis of color. That is the basic principle. The molecules which were placed at the line baseline would be accompanied by this mobile phase, will move forward in upward direction, and after that we will dry this, we will stain this in the nin hydrogen reagent, and we will place it in an oven. After that, that means the color of the different amino acids will develop in that sense by the action of this nin hydrogen reagent over there. So that was about the chromatography. That means the judgment of the molecules on the basis of color. That is the basic principle of the chromatography. Chroma is actually the color. Okay, that was the all procedure. That will take about half an hour to complete. After half an hour, I can see you can see the filter paper, that is the chromatographic paper. We will calculate the RF value or retention factor for that. The RF value of the molecule which is compared with the control would be same. Suppose if I have valine as a control and I have a component of valine amino acid as a sample. So RF of both the control and the valine in the sample will be same. In next video we will learn how RF value is calculated. Thank you. Okay class, after 30 minutes or about half an hour, we will take this filter paper out like this. Excess solution is wiped off with the brim. Then lid is placed over the chromatographic tank. Now you can see in a closed version, there is a solution of isopropanol and water which is moved upward in vertical direction by the capillary action on the filter paper. The molecules of the concern that were placed initially in the form of an amino acid, these are also forwarded with the help of the capillary action by this solvent molecule. Okay, so I will place a line over there, or you can say this is the solvent front. That means at which level the solvent has moved on a filter paper. So our solvent front, that means the level of the solvent which is moved on a filter paper, we will calculate then from the baseline to that line after you can see experiment. Now there is the time that you will again dry this filter paper with the molecules in it. So this is dried. You can see the paper does contain two lines. One is baseline, one is solvent front. The baseline is actually the line on which the sample has placed, and solvent front is the line up to which, or you can say the distance covered by the solvent from this baseline to the appropriate mark or successful mark. So this would be called as solvent front or distance covered by the solvent. Now this is the time in which we will dip this filter paper in a staining reagent, that is Ninhydrin reagent. Just like this, we will make sure our complete pattern is immersed in a filter paper, or you can say the solvent front level up to the solvent front level the filter paper is should be immersed in a Ninhydrin reagent. Now we will place this Ninhydrin reagent filter paper in a oven. We can hang the filter paper with that was dipped in the Ninhydrin reagent in an oven. So you can see this is placed in the oven, and after 4 to 5 minutes, when it will be dried, this will appear in a colored form. Okay class, after a few minutes, once your paper chromatogram is ready, after opening the oven you can see paper chromatogram with the color patterns over it. So the violet color and the yellow color, and this is a sort of violet color, but this is dispersed. So we can take it by the help of our hands or the clips. We will take the filter paper off, and we will calculate for RF value next. So what is RF value? In the next video I will tell you. Okay class, this is the final presentation of the paper chromatogram, on which the control, this is the valine, which is represented by CT or control over there, and next was the proline, then was the valine, and then was the tryptophan. So when we compare these four with each other, there is only valine which is, when compared with the control, is identified. That means the color is same, the site is same up to or the level is same up to an extent to which these molecules move in upward direction, and this is done by the help of a technique which is called retention factor. Retention factor is actually the property of a substance in a particular chromatography system, that is the RF value, which is the ratio of distance travelled by substance to distance travelled by mobile phase. So over there you can see RF, which is equal to distance covered by the substance divided by distance covered by the mobile phase. So I have measured the distance of these two, mobile phase and the substance distance. So this was the initial area. Over there I placed my samples. So from this up to the solvent front, or the level of the solvent, when initially I took out the filter paper from my chromatographic tank, I placed this line, which is actually the level of the mobile phase. So this was, from this baseline is 8 centimeter. So the solvent front, or the distance travelled by the mobile phase, is 8 centimeter. Now we will calculate each of the molecule which was in analysis. That was the proline, that was the valine, that was the tryptophan. So for our ease, as we know about the our accumulated amino acid or the amino acid which is matched with the control over there was the valine. So for my ease I have taken these two as a measured units. So from this baseline up to an extent over there, the maximum color is presented. It is measured as 4 centimeter. Like valine over there is measured as 4 centimeter. Likewise, because these two are the same, appearing in the same color, so this will give you the same distance of the molecule that was covered by these two molecules from the baseline. So when we put these values in a retention factor formula, that was the distance covered by the substance divided by the distance covered by mobile phase. So RF value or retention factor for the valine is actually the 4 centimeter, which is covered by the valine molecule, just like this. From this place to this point, this is the maximum point of the color. So this space is about 4 centimeters. So we will put 4 centimeter divided by the mobile phase distance, which was initially measured, which was of 8 centimeter. So 4 divided by 8 will give you 0.5. So RF of the control will be known to you in an protocol. Okay? So protocol definitely will be of 4 centimeter of the content, which is moved from the baseline to the maximum point, that was of 4 centimeter. We will put the 4 centimeter over the solvent front, that was the distance covered by the solvent, that was also of 0.5. So by the help of this chromatogram you can say valine actually matches with this control unit. So RF of the valine should be equal to RF of the control over there. So you can see in both the cases valine RF is 0.5 and control RF is 0.5. That's how we can compare our unknown factor with the known factor by measuring the RF values of the compounds or the components which were placed initially on a chromatographic thing. So this is the final presentation, and you are supposed to write all these calculations on your notebook, and you are supposed to draw this chromatogram with the labelings over it. So that was all about paper chromatography.